You've been in the swamp for 40 years. You say things tonight like, we're going to have a rapid test for COVID-19. If I were the president back in March, we would have had rapid tests available immediately. And never mind that rapid tests weren't even invented and ready until June of this year, Joe. President Trump mobilized the private sector in manufacturing of ventilators, drugs, PPE, better and more efficiently than has been done since World War II. And you just lie. You just say things that can't even be remotely possible. I'm going to have rapid results COVID test in March. Well, it's not possible, Joe. Wow. I mean, the guts that it must take, or maybe it's the dementia that it must take for you to be able to say those kinds of things, Joe. We continue to feel sorry for you. We don't wish you any ill will. You're clearly not well. You look old. You look frail. For those of us that know people in our lives who have had dementia and Alzheimer's and such things, you look like you've got it. We're sorry for that. For those of you in the news media, please stop coddling. Tell the truth. It was a horrible speech. Just a terrible speech. We will continue to monitor all of this on the right side here with Doug Billings. We're not going to relent in our pursuit of the truth, and we're not going to relent in the face of whatever else the mainstream media may say. It's important that we know the truth and that we say the truth with regards to how these people are performing. Joe and his crowd condemn President Trump for not handling the COVID crisis effectively. A lie, misrepresentation, and fabricated myths. President Trump shut down travel from China in January. It was still February and March when Joe was saying, this is no big deal. It's not anything. SARS was a lot worse than this. And Nancy Pelosi is going to Chinatown in San Francisco. Joe Biden is calling Trump xenophobic. Nancy Pelosi is saying it's ridiculous. Don't listen to the president. Come on out. Come on out to Chinatown. Enjoy yourselves. The narrative won't work anymore. We know the truth. We know that the manufactured lies and half-truths of the New Democratic Socialist Party is all they have. And you'll notice something else, ladies and gentlemen. Things that the New Democratic Socialist Party did not mention this week. And I think it's important for us to understand that, silence is, in fact, a response. And when people and political parties are silent on an issue, that is, in fact, a response to an issue. Case in point, the mobs, the anarchy, the rioting and the looting, the rape and the murder that's going on across cities in America that are led and managed by members of the New Democratic Socialist Party. They don't have to come out and say that they support it, although they often do. They often do. We support it. It's peaceful protesting. It's peaceful protesting, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a summer of love in Seattle. And it ended up being a summer of rape and murder. I think the thing that we discovered this week was that the real running mate for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is not each other. They are not each other's running mate. They each have COVID-19 as their running mate. There's no way that 170,000 people have died purely of COVID in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to believe that. 170,000 people have not died from COVID. They've died from pre-existing medical conditions. The New Democratic Socialist Party tries to divert, instill fear, and try to confuse you, to divert you from their own malfeasance with regards to how they lead this country. Of all of the 170,000 deaths that these people claim were caused by COVID-19, only 17,000 of them died actually from COVID-19 when it's the primary cause of death. 17,000. The rest all died from pre-existing medical conditions. Look, and I'm going to talk now to superintendents and teachers and administrators of schools throughout the country. If you're under 60 years of age, 60, if you're younger than 60, you're statistically unaffected and will have a 99% recovery rate. Unless you're medically fragile, unless you have a pre-existing medical condition. And by all means, take care of yourselves if you're medically fragile. If you're 45 years and younger, you don't even register on the statistical charts of getting COVID and having serious effects because of it, unless you're medically fragile. College kids, 21 to 24 years old or so, 100% recovery rate. School-age children, high school and younger, from birth to age 19, statistically unaffected by COVID. Now, this doesn't mean that they don't get it. They can get it, ladies and gentlemen, but they're statistically unaffected. They'll have a few symptoms, if any, very mild. They get over it. In a couple of days, a few days, they're done. Poof. Getting COVID-19 is not necessarily a bad thing. It leads to herd immunity. Schools closing down, superintendents of high schools and districts with kids that are dependent upon athletic scholarships and academic scholarships. Shame on you for wrecking the hopes and the dreams of these kids. College sports canceling entire seasons. You're nothing but a bunch of wussies, and substitute the letter W with P. A bunch of wussies. COVID-19 is the wildly unnecessary nothing burger in the history of hysteria. It's the biggest thing that is amounting to nothing in the history of hysteria. You know, the people that die from this thing, age 78 or older. 78 or older. And 78, ironically, is the average life expectancy of people in the United States. So the New Democratic Socialist Party blaming this on Trump, thinking that it was mismanaged and not handled well, and that COVID-19 is a reason that we should all lock ourselves in our safe room at home and wear a mask in our cars and outside in sunshine. Absolutely crazy. And I can only say that the good news in all of that is that the vast majority of people in this country know better. They are absolutely lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely lying to you. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, Doug Billings here on the right side. You know, it's not every day that we here at the program get to meet someone who rubs elbows with American heroes. But we've done just that, and he's become a friend of the program, and we're grateful for it. The Commander's Artist, otherwise known on Twitter as The Real Mad Dog 58. Make sure you look him up and give him a follow on Twitter at The Real Mad Dog 58. And more importantly, perhaps, look him up on the web, www.thecommandersartist.com. He's the personal artist of General Mike Flynn. Personal friend of the general's is a personal friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm flattered that he's become a friend of the right side. You can check out his artwork just over my right shoulder, the right side logo that we use at the beginning and end of every program. There's one of me up there in my Revolutionary War garb, protecting the Republic from intellectual liberal immaturity, and one of Donald Trump up there as well. We love it. My chosen leader. TheCommandersArtist.com and The Real Mad Dog 58 on Twitter. Mad Dog, Commander's Artist, thank you, brother. Thank you for your friendship, for all you've done for the show. Cheers.